Hello, this is Abby.
Dear Abby, this is gonna be a long one.
Oh boy.
Dear Abby, how do you tell the difference between a new exciting crush and a rebound?
Does it matter?
Dear Abby.
Dear Abby.
Dear Abby.
Welcome to our little corner of the internet. This is the Dear Abby podcast. I hope you stay and hang out with us. See you in a sec. Welcome back to Dear Abby. I'm your host. I'm very happy to be back. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in weeks because it has been weeks since I've recorded because I had to batch a bunch of episodes. I don't even know what batch means, but I hear Chelsea say it all the time for her podcast. So I'm guessing it's when you do multiple at once. So you batch them like a big old batch, like a batch of cookies, just a big old bunch of them. So I batched a couple episodes. I'm a real podcaster now for the holidays, so I could take some time off. I've been MIA on pretty much all platforms until I think yesterday I posted. But if you follow me on any social medias, you realize now I take breaks from social media like every month, just like a full 2 weeks of absolutely nothing. That's one of my New Year's resolutions, is to be better at content, because I do like and enjoy it, but I'm just not that good at it yet. And the consistency is just not there for like just posting and stuff. But on the podcast, it's consistent, just not anywhere else. I just missed recording, so I'm happy to be back, and I have a lot to talk about. There's a lot of funny stories, things that happened, and new beginnings, new things. And we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff today. We don't have a Dear Abby we do have a Dear Abby. We don't have a Frenemies, is what I was saying, because I think we did it last week, so we're not doing one this week. So we're just kind of talking about a bunch of different things, lots of life updates, just some random things that I've been thinking about, resolutions, and the concept of letting go a little bit. We're kind of going to be all over the place today, and I'm okay with that because I'm feeling very chaotic. My energy is very chaotic right now. It's like my energy, I feel calm but chaotic. It's like a mix of both somehow. A couple stories and life updates, and then we'll get into the other things. First, I'm so glad that the holidays are over. They were lovely. I loved them. I had so much fun, so many cool different experiences, but I have had to keep two secrets for the holidays. One for my sister, one for my boyfriend. Well, I had to keep a secret from my mom, and then I keep a secret from my boyfriend. So two very important people in my life. I'm not good at lying. Well, apparently I am, but no, actually I'm not. I make up the weirdest lies, and I've had to just juggle a bunch of lies. I've just been vomiting lies the past couple of weeks to cover up tracks for surprises. Oh yeah, and I almost spoiled all of these with last week's episode. Well, yeah, last week's episode that I accidentally posted the week prior to last week by accident. So we'll get to that, which maybe some of you probably already know. So my mom loves when we all gather for Christmas, as do most moms. And she was bummed because my sister and her husband and little kid weren't going to be able to go to Arizona to visit my family for the holidays. That made my mom really sad. So my sister decided, hey, maybe let's just surprise my mom for Christmas and drive down there and just surprise her on Christmas Day. She'll love that. She'll love being surprised. We made that plan. Well, she made that plan. She told me, I was like, perfect. I actually don't want to drive down by myself, and I don't want to pay for a ticket to fly. So I can just drive with you guys, and I'll just tell my mom a lie and say that I am flying. I'll tell my mom that I bought a plane ticket. I'm flying in, and my friend Jessica's going to pick me up, even though she wasn't in town the day that I got there. Didn't think about that because I'm, again, apparently not a good liar. So she'll pick me up, then she'll just drop me off at home. But really, it's my sister and her husband. They can drop me off at home when my mom's not there. That was a whole lie in and of itself, because my mom, for some reason, had so much curiosity about my flight, like the specifics of my flight. And she was so concerned because she thought I was going Frontier, which I never actually told her which flight or which whatever it's called, airline I was flying with. She just assumed because it was the cheapest. And she's like, well, if you're flying, then pack a carry-on and give it to me, because Frontier's so picky on like their personal items and their carry-ons. Like, it'll be cheaper if you just give me your carry-on and we can drive it back. And then when you come to visit, then you don't have to pay for that extra fee. Anyways, very concerned about that. So I like fake packed something, even though I did need clothes, but it was just the whole thing. I'm horrible at that stuff. That's the first surprise on Christmas Day. My mom was going to open the door and they were going to say Merry Christmas and her grandson will be there and she loved it. Second surprise was that I was flying to the East Coast to surprise my boyfriend who was staying with his parents that just recently moved there, and he was helping them unpack. So I flew there and he had no idea, and his parents picked me up from the airport and we surprised him by, I think his dad said like there was something at the door, I don't know, to like help bring it in or something. And so he opened the door and I was standing there. So 2 surprises that have been in the works for like a month prior to Christmas. And I've had to keep this in for so long to 2 people. And it's been driving me insane. And so finally Christmas Day came, and all I could think about the whole time, not spoiling the lie for my sister and for my boyfriend, but thankfully Christmas Day was like such a fun, awesome day because I got to experience Chelsea surprising my mom with, you know, her son saying Merry Christmas when she opened the door. And so Gigi got her grandson and granddaughter for Christmas, which was like all she ever wanted. And she cried. It was such a good surprise. All the hard work was worth it because she was like, that was such an amazing feeling to like open the door and see just people that you love that you didn't expect to see. And so she's like, so I'm sure Kian will love that you're surprising him, because it was a good feeling. And so then I got on a flight, like a 5-hour flight thankfully there was no layovers on Christmas Day. So I got on a flight on Christmas to go from Arizona to North Carolina. And it was just a full day of travel, and Kian was shook. You know how like you see videos of people surprising and then it's always like really sweet, you know, and I think it's because they haven't seen each other in years and stuff. And that's just the way they react to surprises. Kian and I both are not the type that are like, oh my gosh, like, and then run and spin each other and like, but that's just not how we express it, at least right now in our lives. And so when he opened the door and I was like, Merry Christmas, like that's all, I was just like, Merry Christmas. And then his jaw dropped, like literally dropped. I've never seen why is that the reaction that we have when we're shocked? Why is it to open your mouth? Why is that the reaction when you're shocked? Is just to open your mouth. But it's such a weird thing that people do when their jaw drops. But it was so cute to see him surprised and like he had no idea. And you know when you're surprising someone and you think that's all they're thinking about because that's all you've been thinking about, you overthink everything you say, you overthink every question you answer, and you just assume that they know, and you're like, the surprise is ruined, all my hard work is down the drain. No one had any idea. My mom didn't know, my boyfriend didn't know. The funniest part was my mom, like I said, she had so many freaking questions about every aspect of my flight. Even when I got there, because we had to plan it where she was out of the house and then Chelsea dropped me off when she was at home, and then I just had to keep lying about everything and how I got there. And I forgot to not take the presents from Chelsea's car because I flew from what my mom thought, and I brought like 4 presents with me, just fully packed or fully done up with packing paper, like wrapped. Clearly I did not take a flight and bring 4 presents with me because I didn't fit in my luggage. And then I brought a whole other luggage, a huge gift, just like so many different things. And I put them in my room and kind of hid them in the corner. And that girl, I swear, she was trying to ruin it for her because she kept going into my room and was like, why did you bring a gift for Case? Why did you bring this gift? How did you get this on the plane? Wait, I'm like, Mom, stop looking through my stuff, bro. She was wanting the surprise to get spoiled. And I was like, is she this nosy all the time? And you only realize it when you're trying to surprise someone? Or was she just extra nosy for some reason that day? I'm convinced it's the first one. I think she's just always that nosy. It's just, that's normal. I don't really care. I want to talk about myself, so ask me any questions you want. I'll answer. I accidentally posted my episode early. So if my mom or my boyfriend were to have listened to that episode, it was only up for like 24 hours and I took it down immediately and it took a while to update. But I accidentally posted it, and if they listened to it, they would have spoiled the surprise that both of the surprises. So thank you to the people who were like, did you mean to post this? Because I did not mean to post it that early, and I was freaking out because all my hard work is down the drain. Anyways, crazy stuff. Happy the holidays are over. The East Coast was beautiful. It was so fun to just hang out, and it was like probably the most relaxed I've ever been, and like in a long time, to be honest. It was just nice to get away from California, get just like a new, I don't know, perspective, a new place, and just to reset for the new year. I'm really proud of myself because I felt actually really calm in my relationship for a long period of time. I get like small inklings of like being calm or peaceful, but I felt just like really calm and really peaceful, and I let myself feel it because it's not anything to do with my boyfriend. I mean, he's not the cause of like my inner stuff. I used to let myself be very much controlled by my relationship OCD or anxiety. And instead I just was like, I just want to be held, and I just want to like feel safe and let myself, even if it's ripped away from me sometime in the future. It's like, I'd rather feel that. I don't know. I just had a lot of growth in that trip, and it just kind of brought my relationship to a whole new level of like, I don't know. It just felt really nice. Honestly, it was a really nice trip. More updates. If you notice, I'm a little bit chaotic today and a little bit all over the place. Maybe I'm not. Maybe that's just like, I always say that, but if I say that every week, that's just like how I am, I guess. But also, I don't know how people perceive me. In my head, I feel like everything's going crazy, but you're just listening to my voice, so you don't know what's going on up here. It's not that much. It's not that crazy, but it feels chaotic. There's actually no words or nothing that makes sense. It just feels chaotic. I don't know how to explain it. I'm extra like just sleepy and tired because today was my first day at my new 9-to-5 corporate type job. It's like a dream job. I'm really excited. Everyone's really lovely. I met everyone today and had orientation, all of that fun stuff. So I started a new position, and that's just always very nerve-wracking. I'm always confident in my ability to do a good job, but I think it's more culture and like meshing with the people there I get really anxious about. You know, when in doubt, I just like always try to be extra helpful and extra nice. But I do worry, honestly, a little bit about how I'm being perceived, and if people, like, I just want people to know that I'm nice. You just want people to like you, and you want to get along with your coworkers. It doesn't seem like there'd be any problem, but it's just, you know, always kind of a long day. So I've had a lot of information being put in my brain, meeting a lot of people, a lot of new things running around. So it's just been a good day, but I'm very tired, but I needed to record and I wanted to. So here we are. It's late at night, so the lighting's not great. I'm going to try to figure out, I have like a new schedule, but of recording. So hopefully I can record during the day when it's nice and bright outside, or I'll figure out a way to record at night and make it how when I first started, how it was. I would usually record at night anyways, but you couldn't tell. Well, you kind of could, but I would have lights. Anyways, we'll figure it out. When I was at work today, I'm like, this is such a weird adjustment from working from home. And when you work from home, you're like working normal, but you feel more free because you're not in an office and you don't have to talk to anyone. Like, and I have no problems talking to anyone, but it is kind of nice, honestly, to just like not have to worry about the social aspect of work and just worry about getting the job done and, you know, that thing. So it is a huge adjustment to going from having complete freedom and working wherever, whenever, however, however, like just not being really managed, honestly. And I thrive in that because I just like feeling free and working. Go from that to working in an office, you know, not ever working remote, 9 to 5, 8 to 4, whatever it is, all day in an office with people. It's like and I've done remote for years now, so this is like a huge adjustment. Like it's not, doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but when your lifestyle is one way and it has to completely flip, it is like a really hard adjustment. And I'm really struggling with it and struggling to let go of my old lifestyle because I loved it. Like I loved the freedom. Of course I did. It was so nice, but I am ready for this new chapter, but it is really hard to let my old lifestyle go because sometimes I feel like when we let things go, it's like saying like they were never good, but that's not how I see letting go. I see letting go as I'm trying to teach myself that this is how it is, but I'm trying to teach myself the letting go is not saying that this was ever bad. Sometimes it is, but sometimes with good things, when you let it go, it just means that right now, this is no longer working for what has to happen in order for me to eventually get to where I want to be. So I'm going to have to sacrifice this and let this go. And it was good. And it still may be in the future and may be good for me. Right now, that's just not what I can focus on. And I just have to let it go for now. I'm having to really change a lot. And my schedule is completely different. My habits are going to be completely different. And it's not bad. It's honestly really good, I think, for my mental health to have a lot more structure. And just for a normal human brain to function, I think structure is really good. It still is like a really hard transition. So I'm going to be very patient with myself and practice just like understanding that it's not going to feel very good at first. And it's going to feel really uncomfortable and uneasy, but eventually I'll get the hang of it and I'll start to feel, just like get in the swing of things. But I don't think I can do that smoothly until I feel like I've fully let go of what I think my life should look like right now and just sacrifice that to do really good at this new job and, push my time into that and the podcast and just kind of focus in. So it's really weird and I'm really excited, but yeah, I'm like, so I quit the podcast. Just kidding. I'm still doing the podcast. That's like it's like a hobby for me now. Yeah, it's weird. So I just did a full day. I'm getting pretty tired, but it's good because I need to get tired again because I used to not get tired at night because I would just be too, I don't know. I just didn't exhaust my brain enough, I think, during the day. You would think if you had OCD, you would exhaust your brain, but it's not helpful exhaustion. So it just feels not good. It's not a good exhaustion. It's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And another thing that I have been trying to let go of and realize that I was not letting go of is just how hard the past couple years were for me. Obviously, that's why I started this podcast. And I really am so grateful for everything that happened in a weird way because I feel like it's taught me so much about life and so much about myself. It's been really hard and it's still really hard, but it's not as hard as it used to be. Okay, trigger warning. I don't have like suicidal thoughts, stuff like that anymore. I just feel like, I feel like kind of back to how just more even. And I felt like I kind of wanted to sabotage that. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I feel like the only time I'm allowed to feel sad or feel bad is because like I feel like I have to justify my emotions with like, well, it's probably because of my divorce or it's probably because of OCD or something. But now I feel like it's not everything is tied to those things. And it's like kind of weird because everything just has been for the past couple years. But I'm really having to like let go of how hard that was because I'm scared if I let that go, then like the moments I've had with myself and the moments I've had with family members and honestly moments I've had with God and how he's like comforted me and just been there for me are like also going to go. And then like, he's not going to be as there for me because it's not as catastrophic, but I'm kind of learning that he's like, you are different now and things are different. And they're not as catastrophic, but that doesn't mean I'm like going to just leave you now because you're like kind of okay because I just want to be with you, and vice versa. So I feel like that's kind of why maybe I'm struggling a little bit to let go because a part of me really enjoyed being really hurt because I felt very comforted. However, something that I've honestly learned the past couple years is a God that wants to be with you through it all. You know, he wants to celebrate you when you're happy. He wants to be with you when you're sad, when you're mad, when you're frustrated, but also when you're just mediocre and when you're just going about your day and you're just a little bit tired. Like, he's there for you for that. And he's not asking that much for you other than just like you and fully you and like your heart, you know? I just don't want to act like I'm totally okay because I don't want to then lose that relationship or lose that knowing of needing God, I guess. Sorry, this isn't supposed to be like a gospel podcast, but I mean, sometimes that's just what I'm thinking about and I just want to share it because I'm not the only one that believes in God. So, I was thinking also, I remember when I worked in office like years ago and I loved the structure, but I also feel like when I hear or see a corporate girl or like, I don't know, like the aesthetic, I guess, like on Instagram or something, I feel like it's always, you just think they're like, that's all they are is like a boss bitch, you know, or a corporate girly or something. And that's all they are. And they're just like, so put together 24/7. I'm learning for me and probably for those girls that you see a snippet of their lives, you can fully be a very good, calm, cool, collected boss, girl, whatever you call it, or just an office corporate girl, a businesswoman, anything professional, shall I say. You can very much be a professional woman in the workplace, but then also sob on the way home in the car. And that's totally fine. You're not unstable. That's just like being a woman. That's like the most woman thing you can do is be extremely professional, friendly, nice, get the job done. And then on the way home, you're exhausted and you feel a little bit hurt by something someone said or something, but you didn't say anything because you're like, I know it's not a big deal. I think what's actually just going to be helpful is if I just like cry by myself for a little bit. Yeah, that's where we were at today. I was a little bit overwhelmed and spent a lot of the time crying in my car after just to kind of release that energy of being stressed and just taking on a lot of new stuff and just letting go again of kind of my lifestyle before. And it's really hard, but it'll be worth it, but it is really hard. I stopped by Chick-fil-A, of course. I got a frosted lemonade. I wasn't going to eat any sugar this week, but I had a gift card from Chick-fil-A, or I got one, and so I had to use it because I just felt like I deserved it after that day. It wasn't even a bad day. That's the thing. It was actually really good, and I'm really excited, honestly, to just work for a long time every day, which sounds weird, but it's like tech stuff, and I love that. So I'm really excited. Everyone's really nice. Doesn't mean that like my emotions are like only feels good because it was good. It just I just am sometimes feel all over the place, even though it was just like a medium day. And I love that about myself. And I will never make any scene at work if I feel a certain way. However, when I get home in the privacy of my own bedroom, I will cry and I will scream into a pillow to get the emotions out, to feel seen, and then I'll feel better and get even more work done the next day. What was I talking about? Oh, resolutions. I thought it would be fun to go over my vision board from that I made a year ago for this year and see what came true just for fun. You know, I'm not a big like manifestation type person because I think that's like pretty much just what prayer is, but just like a different spin on it because I think it's like building a relationship is more so prayer. But I do believe in like positive mindsets because what you think and okay, just to clarify, when people say you can control what you think, you can control what you think, what you choose to think. You cannot control random thoughts that pop into your head from your subconscious or from whatever, the radio of your brain. So when people say you can control your thoughts, you actually cannot control a lot of those thoughts. But I believe in positive thinking and choosing to think positively, even when you feel really negatively. That's what I believe in. And so anyways, I don't want to knock on manifestation, but I don't want to say that I do it because I don't. So I have the board with me right now on YouTube. It's a little bit taken apart because I threw it in the trash before I had this idea. So it also kind of smells weird. Okay, so I'm gonna, ew, it smells like minty. I think I like spit gum on it or something. No, I don't see gum. Okay. It smells better than what it could smell, I guess, from the trash. I had one section that says care for your body. It looks like a lot of stretching, climbing, just like working out. I think I failed in that area, not gonna lie, because once I busted my ankle, I stopped climbing. I got scared to climb. Haven't gone back since. Just had been through just a lot of depression this year, all that fun stuff, more OCD. And not that that's saying you can't take care of your body, because you totally can. I just am learning how to do it. And despite how I'm feeling, and I'm in the process of that, and it's possible, and I will do it this year. So I have that on my new one that I'm going to make, but haven't made it yet. But that is like, despite what I'm feeling, just do it anyways, even if you hate it and if you hate it after, but you know it's the right thing to do. So I failed that, unfortunately, this year, I think. But I'm learning it, so that's what counts, kind of. Okay, I had work. This is a little bit ambitious of me. I said $100,000 of revenue. That was of a project that I was working on that still has not come to fruition, but still is possible, but definitely did not get $100,000 this year. That was very ambitious of me. That's actually kind of crazy. And then I had a section of like self-love, and I think I did kind of good on that this year, because did a lot of things that I do love to do. But I think where I've failed in self-love is, where I've succeeded is by doing hobbies that I enjoy. I always make myself do my hobbies, like painting. Even if I don't feel like painting at first, I love it. And I love digital art and stuff like that. And gaming. I don't ever let my OCD take control of my gaming. I love gaming and it's fun. And I don't care if it's like a little bit dark, whatever, or, you know, what my OCD says about it. I'm like, I don't care. I like gaming. Where I failed at is this might sound gross, but like, I think taking care of my body, really enjoying showers. For me, showering has been really, I still shower, but it's not enjoyable. I just like get really anxious and I feel really weird when I shower. Or when I change, anything like that, I just like avoid it. I hate brushing my teeth. That's like exhausting to me sometimes. It's so weird. It's a weird thing because you get almost like triggered when you do any kind of like helping your body, because I think it forces you to be really present, and that's really hard. But I have done better recently with that at the end of the year. But that's something that this year I actually have on my vision board, is like showering, pictures of not people showering, just like it clearly looks like they're cleaning themselves, or like wet hair or something that symbolizes to me when I look at it. It will be like a symbol of self-love and self-care and loving my body and like cleaning it. I actually went through a phase where my OCD really focused on cleaning myself, and I didn't like to be nude in the shower. I didn't like to be nude. I felt like it was like almost like a sin to like be nude, period, just by myself, and to like wash my body, which was not fun. So I'm claiming that back this year. I have been recently, but just slowly and surely I'll claim that back. Then another thing I had, which I did do this year, was a picture of a podcast studio thing, and it says 100K, which I thought that was ambitious, but I did do that this year. I did get 100,000 downloads. So that was a cool one that I didn't think would ever happen, and it did. Okay. And then I have a couple pictures of like my relationships, what I wanted to do in my relationships this year, and like ways I wanted to grow. And I had one just with like, there's just pictures of like a couple, and it just looks like they're being very like silly, goofy, fun, and like very not intimate in like a physical way. Just seems like they're very free with each other. And that's something that I want in my relationship, and that I've been trying to lower my guard and lower my pride, honestly, and just like let myself be loved and let myself feel good and mushy inside, and not like feel dumb or not shy away from that. So I said that at the beginning, that trip really helped with that. But even before that, I just have been learning how to do that a lot more. So I think I've done really good in that area. Another thing I had on here was art, and I did good with this. I have painted a lot this year. I've gotten a little bit better. I just haven't stopped, and I usually quit at things when I'm not good at it, but I haven't quit at art yet. So yeah, I did good. Okay. I think that's all. That was You guys, there is a literal piece of gum on this. That's disgusting. I mean, it was in the trash, so it did smell minty. I knew it. And then I always have on my vision boards, I just always have like a couple pictures of just like vibes of what clothes I want to wear. And I definitely failed miserably at the clothes that I wanted to wear because I always think I'm going to level up my style, and then I never elevate my style that year. And I just wear the exact same clothes as I did the year before. It's not bad, but I do sometimes want to just elevate my style a little bit, and I fail. But this year I have more realistic style that I want to replicate, and it's a little bit more fun. Feels more like me. So we'll see how that works. And I think I'm going to make a Dear Abby board so I know what vision I want for this year. Maybe next week I'll show you my new vision board. I won't talk about it as much as I did this episode. I just thought it would be fun to reflect on last year. I think vision board, like I really do think that it's been so helpful because it reminds me of everything that I want to live for and everything that I get up every day to keep living for. So it's just like a little reminder of feelings that I've felt, of people that I want to spend time with, the most important things in my life. So to have that hanging up on my fridge, that's where I had it, just on my fridge every day. The past year, it's been actually kind of life-changing because I don't lose sight of my goals. So I think every human needs constant reminders, and that's not because they're bad or that's not because they're stupid. It's just like, that's just the way that our human brains work, and even our souls, we just need a lot of reminders. So I think that's all it is. It's just a reminder of like, don't lose sight of this. And also with resolutions, I feel like if you're anything like me, because everyone else is doing it, you don't want to do it. Just because everyone else has resolutions and it's a thing everyone does every year and you might be sick of it, it doesn't lose its meaning, or it doesn't lose its significance of how important and how useful resolutions can be. And even if you don't make that goal, you're still working towards something. And I think that's a really healthy thing, as long as it's in a healthy way, obviously. So maybe next week we can talk about how to make resolutions and goals and all that stuff if you're interested in that. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we talk about. We're going to do a Dear Abby, and then we're going to wrap it up. Oh, wait, you guys, I forgot to do dubs and L's from this week. Past 2 weeks, I guess. Okay, dubs. These are just any dubs, period. Any L's. Felt calm in my relationship. I guess I already said that one. Where I normally would spiral, I chose trust instead. L's, let my thoughts run wild and got worked up on the plane. I always get so anxious on the planes because every once in a while I'm like, my body's like, or my brain's like, we're flying in the middle. We're flying in a metal container, but a stranger has our lives in his hands. And then I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's like, run. It just feels like all of a sudden it's like, help. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's honestly kind of funny because after I'm like, that was the most dramatic thing I could have done, but I'm really chill. You would never know from the outside looking in, but inside my brain is like, we're going to die. We're going to die. And I just have to say, maybe, you know what? Maybe we die. Okay. I also think the last thing with resolutions, and then we will do Dear Abby in a second, is to write down your story, like your story of 2023, how you would sum up 2023. This sounds so dumb, but like write it down, read it, thank that year, thank the experiences, acknowledge all of them. Feel like you're really aware of everything that happened in 2023, good and bad, fully aware of it, and then just close the book and just be open to 2024 and what this year is going to bring, and the new experiences and a lot of new things. Or maybe it's the same old stuff. For me, it's a lot of new things. Maybe for you, it's just another year of the same old things, and that's okay. That's just as good. Let's do a Dear Abby, and then we will end this episode. And then I can go to bed to wake up and become a cog in the machine. Just kidding. I really don't care about that. Oh, I need Dear Abby submissions, you guys. I really need them. I run out pretty frequently, but I need text messages, voicemails, DMs, whatever. Just call or text the number that's in the subscription, or that's in the description below, and I'll answer them. Okay, here is a text. Dear Abby, what should I do in a situation where there's multiple guys going after me? Okay, slay. I want to be in a relationship and I think most of the guys are really great, so I can't decide. Wondering what your relationship advice may be. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's a good problem to have though. That is funny. Okay. First I'll say, if you actually really want a real relationship, then you're going to have to get used to the idea of having a lot of guys not care about you anymore. Just like when I was younger, I loved getting attention. And I'm not saying you're like this. I'm just saying if you are, it's not bad. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty normal. I feel like looking back, I definitely led guys on because I liked that attention. And I'd play a little bit dumber than I was. Sometimes I was just like not as aware, I guess, of how much a guy likes you if they want to hang out is what I was confused about. But I did like the attention nonetheless when I could have just like shut it down even just as friends. Knowing now what I know about guys and why they ever want to hang out. You're going to have to practice just like saying no to a lot of guys and just like having them not like you anymore and just out of sight, out of mind. Delete those guys off Snapchat that like message you and say you're pretty, or those guys that text you. Just get rid of them, you know, and practice just being your own hype girl, you know, and just being by yourself, hyping yourself up instead of like guys complimenting you all the time, because we can control that a little bit more than I think we like to admit, because we'll reply to the guy who messages us or whatever. Anyways, if you want a relationship, I'd say that is actually an important thing when you get older to like, that's just like a maturing thing that just when you're mature, you just do that naturally. But if it's more like you don't know which guy to choose, then just go on dates with all of them. And I feel like when you want to date someone, you just like enjoy any person I've ever dated. I just like met them. It wasn't always like the first date that I was like, oh my gosh, I want to date you. It was just like, I liked being with them for whatever reason, even if it was just physical. It's like, I liked being with you. I prefer to spend time with you. That's obvious, but that's the best advice, I guess, of how to choose is just like if you like to spend time with them. But not a great way to not find that out is to think about if you like spending time with them while you're spending time with them. But also you could have a completely different brain than me. So maybe that doesn't matter. For me, if I'm thinking, do I like spending time with you right now? I feel like I won't, because then I'm just in my head. So I'm not going to enjoy it because I'm in my head no matter what, no matter who you are. Sorry, I think that's all I got, honestly. I think it's not like when you know. I think it's just if you like to spend time. And sometimes if you're a little bit not immature in a bad way, everyone's immature at some point and then you mature and it takes a while. But I'm saying if you are someone that likes the attention of guys a lot and you're used to that, just because you find a guy that you like doesn't mean that that feeling's going to go away. So you kind of just have to choose to let that part of you go. And then whoever the guy is that's kind of worth doing that for, I mean, that's who you want to spend your time with. So believe it or not, you guys, I was a heartbreaker. I was a real heartbreaker back in the day. Just kidding. I don't actually think that I was. I think I like to think that I was, but I really wasn't. All right. I'm sad that this episode's over already because I was having fun and I miss talking. But I am very, very tired and I have to get a bunch of stuff done before I go to bed. I will say, I know this is such a classic thing to say, but I'm excited for this year because there's a lot of cool things I want to do with Dear Abby. Like a lot of upgrades, a lot of new stuff, new content, new vibes. And I'm really excited to kind of give you guys more. I think I was a little ambitious to start video and like just start everything all at once. It was a little bit much for me. But I learned a lot along the way and I have new video style coming soon, better quality, all that kind of stuff. I'm getting a new thing for my microphone, so it'll sound a little bit better. But the content of what I'm saying will be the exact same. I'm still going to be me, but I think production wise, I want to give you guys the best of the best. So, well, not the best of the good. Cool. Okay, you guys leave a voicemail for Dear Abby. Don't forget to do that. if you love me and you care about me and you care about the future of this podcast. And leave a 5-star rating, review, all that good stuff on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. You can find me everywhere. Follow me on Instagram at Dear Abbey __ because someone else already took the Dear Abbey. Love you guys so much. Have a great first week of the year. And that's it, I guess. Bye. Love you.
우회전 taking a ride to Jonathan 눈치 보면서 들어가야 할 때 찾아 나머진